Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Guys, today we're going to dive into the altcoins. What I want to do is encourage you to take a look at this altcoin with an open mind, okay? I know what you want to hear. Everybody wants to hear that their coin is going to 50x, 100x. I get it. I want to hear that too, okay? But listen to me. I've been through 3 bull markets and I'm now in my 3rd bear market, okay? And I'm not saying I'm always correct, okay? But I know how these things go, okay? We're going to look at the coin from a technical standpoint. How many of you a few weeks ago, as your coin was going up 60, 70, 100%, was listening to the influencers telling you this time is different, super cycle, Bitcoin dominance is headed down, alt season is here, blah, 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 blah. And today your coin is probably down 50%. Okay, don't listen to the noise. Okay, we're going to look from a technical standpoint. Okay, I don't know about your fundamentals of your coin. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. We can't predict what may happen later, what partnerships may come in, what scandals may come up. We can't predict those types of things, but what we can predict and know for a fact are things like tokenomics, circulating supply, technical analysis. Those things don't change. So we can look at it from a technical standpoint and take a realistic approach to what this coin might do. If anything comes later, like some sort of hopium or some sort of deal or some sort of thing like that in the economy with your coin, where it gets worldwide mass adoption, great, that's a bonus. But be prepared for less, okay? Or be prepared for a more realistic target. The biggest mistake I made in my first cycle was listening to everyone else who said that my coin was going to 50, 60x. And as I sat here and watched it 10 and 15x, which was great, I didn't take profit because I was waiting on that 50x because I believed the narrative. And I wound up writing that coin all the way back down and round tripping it, right? I learned from that mistake. If you're not at least open-minded to hearing what a conservative approach would be, then you're only showing your inexperience in this market. So don't be inexperienced. If you are inexperienced, at least try to learn, okay? If I think your coin's going to 100x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 5x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 0, I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to keep it real with you. I know I could get way more clicks by just coming in and shouting 100x, but that's not going to serve you anything good in the future. So let's take a realistic approach to these coins, and we'll see if we can figure out where a good bull market top is going to be. Let's take a look at the charts. Here we go. All right, y'all, taking a look at NEAR. I am on the weekly Binance chart. Now, I know I just said to kind of ignore the fundamentals and focus on the technicals and the tokenomics, but NEAR is one of those interesting ones where you're just really not sure, okay? When NEAR started out, it was primarily L1, layer 1 stuff. Had a pretty decent first run up, and then second cycle massively underperformed as it was proven to not be one of the more dominant L1s compared to Solana and things like that. But now the team has tried to switch the narrative to more AI-focused technology. So it remains to be seen if that's going to catch for NEAR or not. So it's kind of a wild card. With that, I say we can only go by technicals because you just don't know if the AI narrative of this is going to take off. It's a little late to the game, and it is in the process of switching. It's not there yet. So let's take a look at NEAR. You set an all-time high of NEAR back in January of 2022 of $20.70. Now, at that time, you had a market cap of $12.73 billion and a circulating supply, tokens on the market of 615 million with an M. Okay, pay attention. Fast forward to last cycle, March of 24, you set a cycle high of only $9. That's more than half as much. Less than half as much, excuse me. Your market cap was less at $9.5 billion, and your circulating supply almost doubled to $1.05 billion. Today, you're looking at a $2 NEAR price with a market cap of $2.67 billion and 1.3 circulating supply. Now, if we fast forward to next cycle, projected next cycle top of Q4 of 2029, this could be a little different depending on whether or not you top before or after. We only guesstimate 4-year cycle. I know you topped in 2024, so you do the math. It's going to be pretty close, though. Either way, you're going to have a circulating supply of about 1.4 billion. That is more than double what you had at your price all-time high, more than double, which means you're going to have to do more than double your market cap in order to reach $20 again. Okay, your market cap is going to have to reach $29 billion. Okay, last cycle, you only reached a $9 billion. So you're going to have to triple your market cap from last cycle just to hit your price all-time high. I don't think that's very likely to happen. If you just reach your market cap all-time high of $12.7 billion in the next cycle, your price will be $9. So you get back to a $9 near. Now, you can't fib this, okay? You cannot fib this because you have an increased circulating supply, significantly so, but what you can fib are your market caps. So we're looking at the weekly market cap for near, and let's look at cycle 1 to cycle 2. From your price all-time high to your bear market low, you came up to almost to the 786. You rejected from the 702, but you came almost to the 786. So let's throw the fib on from last cycle high to current bear market low, and you can see if we came back up in market cap now, not in price, in market cap, if you came back up to the 786, 702, 786 area, you're going to have about an $8 billion market cap, okay? And that's where I think you could top out. Now, if NEAR is able to successfully transition into AI, you could continue higher, but that remains to be seen. So I think a retrace into this 702, 786 area around $8 billion market cap is reasonable. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, price is holding up way better than a lot of coins. But let's go back to the price chart and take a look. This is the same area right here, which is June of 2022, and you actually held up a lot better than most coins. In fact, during this drop in June, you then got a bounce on NEAR of over 100%, almost 150% before heading down in the fall, significantly down in the fall. And in fact, when most coins bottomed out in the fall or winter and rallied up and continued up, you fell even more. You had another leg down in 2023, whereas most coins did not. So from this June rally on NEAR, you actually wound up coming down an additional 84%. Even if you don't get that leg down later this bear cycle, if you just get one more leg down like most coins likely will, that's still a 79% drop, and you could get that this cycle. You could get that next leg down, and in fact, you likely will. Just because price is standing strong, it looked that exact same way in the previous cycle and still got the big rotation down, okay? So you could see a very similar action here. All right, if you do get down there, my bull market price prediction for NEAR is going to be $5.71. All right. And the reason for that is your market cap. If you get to a market cap of $8 billion, you divide, and I'll do it for you so you can see. You take $8 billion market cap divided by 1.4 billion tokens gives you a price of $5.71. And don't think that you can do better than that just based upon your narrative. If you do better than that, AI takes off and you do better than that, that is a bonus. But do not bank on that happen because it may not. And if it doesn't, you need to understand what is most likely for a price to happen based upon technicals. And also on a grander scheme, you can see you have now flipped market structure to bearish on a macro level. You now have lower highs and lower lows. You have taken out last bear market's low, so you are setting lower highs and lower lows, which means you could expect another lower high before another lower low. So NEAR protocol, $5.71. That is a bull market price prediction. However, I do have this green box here that is around $1, anywhere from like 90 cents to $1.15, and I do think you get another shot at this. So if you could get NEAR for $1 and ride it up to 571, you could get yourself a 5 to 6x on this coin, but I don't think you do any better than that. That is my bull run price prediction for NEAR. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of that. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll be updating on NEAR as we progress in the cycle, as well as many other altcoins. Let me know what altcoin you want me to take a look at. I'll be happy to do so and tell you what I think. I'll see you guys next time.